In the high-energy newsroom of ESPN in Bristol, Connecticut, Rich Eisen and Stuart Scott didn't just become colleagues, they became brothers. Amid the constant buzz of breaking sports news, their friendship grew from mutual respect and a shared sense of humor. They brought joy and authenticity to the screen, finishing each other's sentences and creating moments of spontaneous magic. Off camera, they supported each other through life's highs and lows, building a bond that viewers could feel every night. Their partnership wasn't just professional chemistry, it was a true brotherhood. Rich's steady delivery perfectly complemented Stuart's energetic style. Together, they redefined what it meant to be sports anchors, making SportsCenter feel less like a news show and more like hanging out with friends. Their connection allowed them to push boundaries and create television that felt alive. Viewers tuned in not just for sports, but for the genuine camaraderie they shared. This authenticity made their partnership iconic. They navigated the pressures of live TV together, creating a space where both could shine. Different in style, they fit together like puzzle pieces. Their time at the SportsCenter desk was more than a job. It was a special chapter that defined an era and a friendship that would last a lifetime. Rich Eisen and Stuart Scott's on-screen chemistry was electric, something you couldn't script or manufacture. They transformed the traditional sports news format with personality, wit, and infectious energy. Their banter, inside jokes, and playful ribbing made viewers feel like part of the fun. Stuart's hip-hop catchphrases and Rich's sharp humor created a unique rhythm. They weren't just reading scores, they were telling stories, performing, and connecting with a new, diverse audience. Their authenticity shattered the old stoic mold of sports anchors. They brought their full selves to the desk, showing passion and relatability. SportsCenter became a cultural touchstone, influencing a generation of broadcasters. Their style made ESPN feel more human and accessible. They proved that personality was as important as precision. Eisen and Scott turned highlights into theater, capturing the drama and joy of sports. Their partnership set a new standard for sports media. Together, they didn't just anchor a show, they changed the game. For over 2 decades, Rich Eisen's days at the SportsCenter desk were a cherished memory. After leaving ESPN in 2003, he built a stellar career at NFL Network, but Bristol always held a special place in his heart. Everything changed in August 2025 when ESPN acquired NFL Network, opening the door for Eisen's return. On August 18, 2025, Rich Eisen was back at the SportsCenter desk, this time solo, but with the weight of history behind him. For longtime fans, it was a powerful moment of nostalgia. For new viewers, a chance to see a legend in his element. The broadcast felt different. Every highlight, every segment, was building toward something deeper. This wasn't just a comeback, it was a tribute. Rich wasn't there just to read scores, he was there to honor a legacy. The return was about more than business. It was personal. The entire show led up to a moment of remembrance. Rich's presence was a living tribute to the friend who should have been beside him. The broadcast became a celebration of a partnership and a life. Coming home meant honoring the person who made it home in the first place. Stuart Scott was a force of nature. His voice, his rhythm, and his cultural impact were unmistakable. He brought the language of the playground and hip-hop to the national stage, making catchphrases like "Booyah" part of sports culture. Stuart was unapologetically himself, breaking barriers for broadcasters of color and inspiring millions to embrace their identity. He changed the face and sound of sports media, showing there's no single way to succeed. His influence is everywhere. Today's anchors echo his style and spirit. Stuart made sports feel inclusive and vibrant, reflecting the diversity of athletes and fans. Tragically, his voice was silenced too soon when he passed away in 2015 at just 49. The sports world mourned not just a broadcaster, but a man who brought light and energy to everyone he met. His legacy lives on in the catchphrases fans still use and the broadcasters he inspired. Stuart's authenticity and joy made him unforgettable. He proved that being yourself could change an entire industry. Though gone, his voice still echoes in every highlight and every heartfelt moment on air. Once heard, Stuart Scott could never be forgotten. Stuart Scott's battle with cancer was as public as his career, and just as courageous. Diagnosed in 2007, he faced grueling treatments while continuing to be a devoted father and broadcaster. He never hid his struggle, inspiring millions by sharing his journey. Stuart refused to let cancer define him, often going from chemo straight to the studio. His 2014 SPI speech became legendary. "You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and in the manner in which you live." He fought for his daughters, for love, and for life itself. Even as his health declined, his spirit never wavered. Stuart's resilience became a symbol of hope and strength. He taught us that true courage is facing pain head-on and living fully. His legacy is not just in how he fought, but in how he inspired others to keep fighting. Stuart Scott beat cancer by living bravely, leaving a legacy of perseverance that endures. As Rich Eisen's special SportsCenter broadcast neared its end, the mood shifted. The usual banter faded, replaced by a powerful montage of Rich and Stuart's best moments, on and off camera. Laughter, camaraderie, and iconic highlights reminded everyone of their magic. The camera returned to Rich at the anchor desk, now framed by an empty chair beside him. On the screen behind, a smiling portrait of Stuart Scott. The empty chair was more than a prop. It was a profound statement of loss and remembrance. Silence filled the studio, the absence speaking louder than words. For those who remembered their partnership, the image was devastatingly effective. It was a tribute to what should have been, a reminder of a friend gone too soon. Rich sat quietly, letting the moment sink in for viewers everywhere. The empty chair acknowledged the void Stuart left, a space that could never be filled. It was a shared moment of grief and gratitude. The tribute was simple, dignified, and deeply moving. With the empty chair and Stuart's portrait behind him, Rich Eisen spoke from the heart. His voice, thick with emotion, addressed not just the audience but his absent friend. "He should be in that chair," Rich said, capturing the pain of loss and the love that endures. Rich imagined Stuart's takes on today's sports. LeBron's longevity, Belichick coaching at UNC, the Inside the NBA crew joining ESPN. By weaving Stuart into the present, Rich kept his spirit alive. The tribute bridged past and present, showing that Stuart's influence is timeless. Rich's words were raw and unscripted, a pure act of love and remembrance. He allowed viewers to grieve and celebrate alongside him. In those moments, Rich gave everyone a gift, the chance to remember Stuart Scott together. It was one of the most powerful moments in SportsCenter history. The echo of friendship and loss lingered long after the broadcast ended. Stuart Scott was more than his catchphrases. He was real, relatable, and loved by fans. He brought contagious energy and genuine passion to every broadcast. Stuart didn't just report on games, he celebrated them, making viewers feel the excitement. He revolutionized sports media, opening doors for new voices and perspectives. By infusing broadcasts with hip-hop culture, he connected with fans who felt unseen. Stuart proved you could be professional and authentically yourself. Athletes respected him because he spoke their language and treated them as peers. His interviews were conversations, not interrogations, revealing athletes' true personalities. Stuart was a bridge between athletes and fans, making sports more human. He taught the industry that the person delivering the news matters as much as the news itself. His legacy lives on in broadcasters who now bring their own voices to the airwaves. Stuart showed that sports are about culture, community, and connection. Years later, his name is still spoken with love and admiration. Remembering Stuart Scott and his partnership with Rich Eisen is more than nostalgia. It's a lesson in friendship, authenticity, and courage. Their bond showed that real connections create the most compelling stories. Rich's tribute was a promise kept. Stuart would never be forgotten. The empty chair became a permanent space for Stuart's memory, teaching new fans about his impact. Stuart's public battle with cancer inspired millions to live with purpose and grace. His famous words, "You beat cancer by how you live," became a mantra for all. Their story is about bringing light to the world, on and off the screen. Rich's tribute ensured Stuart's light will never go out. It will inspire future broadcasters and anyone facing their own battles. The friendship between Rich Eisen and Stuart Scott remains a timeless source of inspiration for us all.